Devil in a Blue Dress. I am on chapter 18. Ooh, I'm on chapter 22 because I was reading this morning. I was reading this morning and was not annotating because I was reading in bed. But that's okay. We are at chapter 22. And Easy is closing in on Frank. I think I'm going to read you all this. Like, I'm trying to figure out how much of my annotations I'm going to share. But this is a good one. This is a really good one. I was in chapter 17. And it's when Easy finally meets Carter, who is the mayoral candidate that is supposedly the ex-boyfriend of Daphne Monet. He is the ex-boyfriend of Daphne Monet, and he is supposedly the person that has been looking for her all this time. So I wrote, I want to pause here. I believe that this is why I love this story. Yes, there is mess and scandal, but there is also a strong story about how the lure of this black woman, sure, we don't know she's black. We don't know she's black at the time. But she is navigating high society, the underworld, code switching, passing, Creole. She's smart, she's alluring, drop dead gorgeous. All of these people lose their lives. All of this fuss over one beautiful black woman. And I feel like that's like the underlying story here, is that Daphne Monet is enrapturing and she's cunning. Okay, she's beating everyone at their own game. Just now, when her and Easy, came across the dead body, she was like, I'm out of here. And he realized that she was like, her accent was fake. He's like, wait a second. I thought you was French. So it's just, I think that's why I've always been drawn to the story, because as a young black girl, like, you didn't see stories like this a lot, where the character or the center of it all, the person that everyone was fussing about, or like the center of the story, was a black woman. Like, you just didn't see that a lot, I feel like, in the 90s, in my experience. I was a preteen, or a teenager, somewhere in there. So it was memorable to me, and it was like the first thing I ever read like this. I don't know if I want to say it was the first movie I ever saw like this, but it was just, it left an impression. Meanwhile, I am restarting like my reading and journaling journey, which that just means I'm trying to heavily get back into the habit of reading and journaling. And so this is like my first, this is not my first foray, but I'm really trying to, my understanding is that annotating and journaling while reading helps you connect. Like really connect with the story you're reading. And that's what I'm looking for. You know, when I started this, I was just telling someone on YouTube. When I restarted my journaling or my reading journey, the first thing I did was look up and see what I could listen to on audio on Libby that was written by Zora Neale Hurston, because I just remember loving her stories, and listening to them was even better. Even better, you can imagine. And so I'm just looking for that connection to the page that I kind of think I used to have. Even though I was reading a lot of stuff for school, I still identified with a lot of it. I still appreciate a lot of that stuff still. But I actually did not finish my quote I was saying earlier. So, over one beautiful black woman, all of this fuss. And at the same time, this is juxtaposed versus the fact that that single fact, that characteristic, the fact that she's a black woman, is enough to ruin her life and keep her and him from all the happiness in the world. So on the one hand, she's this alluring woman that everyone is like drawn into and just dumbfounded by. Everyone's looking for her. She's the center of this crazy story. And then on the other hand, it's the thing that just makes all of it not worth it. It makes all of it arbitrary. No, it ruins the whole thing. The house of cards like falls down, and like, oh, she's black. Oh, they can't get married. They can't live happily ever after. He's not even running for mayor anymore. They just have to go their separate ways. Well, in the book, he acts like he doesn't want to go his separate ways. But we know that they don't stay. Like, I mean, in the movie, I remember her. Like, I mean, I just seen her walk away from him. So maybe he did want to stay together, but just not publicly and just not get married. And she was like, no. Like, that was what she was. That's what she was going after. It was more than just being with him. She wanted to marry him. She wanted the status. She wanted the life. Yeah, she wanted it all. So it's like, I don't think she's gonna stay with him if she can't have that. And my final notation is, ain't that a bitch? But anyway. So Easy has determined that he thinks Albright wants that $30,000. He's like, okay, that's what Albright's in it for. Stuff is finally starting to make sense. Okay. Oh, the police have gotten wind about McGee's death. Richard McGee's death. And also, I think that Tehran popped up dead. Which I was surprised to see that. Yep. Tehran's body was found in his downtown office this morning. He had a nice little bullet hole through his heart. So that, I feel, is different from the movie. And I also am going to talk about how the books is always better. The books are always better than the movie. I'm going to mention that in this video. The book is always better. I mean, I think that is to me, for sure. And I think that is like goes without saying, because the book obviously delves into the thought process. You don't miss anything that the author wants you to know. In the movie, that's not the case. The author, the architect of the story, is not the one that's always writing the screenplays, and has like the final says about edits and stuff. The police are on to it now. Of course, here they come knocking again. Everyone is on Easy's tail. And when I say everyone, I mean the police and Albright. He just got Frank up off his ass. So the police have Easy locked up again. I wish I could put emojis in my journal. I don't have no way to put emojis in my journal. I'm going to put this sticker in here because it says sit, stay, read, and I'm not even a pet person, but I accidentally picked this up at the book club fair because when you're at any type of event, you're gonna grab whatever there is to grab for free. Whatever there is to grab for free. So this is my page. It's not much on the page, but the sticker gives it a little zhuzh. This last page, look, I was at work. Don't judge me. Especially because I'm just getting back in the journal. Don't judge me. Not only was the ramen my meal last night, but all this shit is going on with food stamps. I just felt like it was timely, and I wrote that. This is a good spread. Hey. I'm proud of my little pages. I'm proud. And I got this. I wanna. This is so cute. A bookworm's belongings. This is not reading time, but don't tell nobody. A big old tote bag, countless memories of stories read, tea, coffee, and excuses to read one more chapter, that one extra beloved mug, a library card, bookmarks, old torn receipts, aka more bookmarks, light wherever it can be found, and an insatiable sense of curiosity. This is just too cute. So I'm saving that one for the right spread. Yep. Oh, there. In certain books, I'm not gonna say in every book, but there's real justice. That's one thing I love about detective stories, is because when they come out of the mind of someone and they're not fucking real, there's justice. The the police, this is the first book in the Easy Rawlins series. So the police and Easy don't really know each other yet. They don't really know each other that well yet. So they're trying to fill him out. Like, they're like, man, why we keep running into you? Like all this crazy stuff is going on. People getting killed, people getting shot, stabbed, fighting, people disappearing, and we keep running into you in your ass. So the police are just like trying to figure out, like, are you a bad actor? And they're incredibly and they're racist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're racist. So they really like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Like, we want to lock you up so bad, but they can't because he's not the guy. He's not the guy that's doing all the things that they're investigating anyway. So justice is served. Easy is vindicated. It's not his fingerprints. You can go now. But they mad. They gotta let him go. But you can go. Man, everybody need a friend like Mouse. Dupree still in jail? Dang. Dupree been in jail for the whole book. Man, who out there is trying to annotate their books? Let me know. Let me know who trying to annotate their books. How long have you been doing it? Is it working? Like, do you see a difference? Is it working for you? I know it's going to work for me. I just gotta get like in a groove, a rhythm. Is it fictional crime drama? I mean, genre? Fictional crime stories. Yeah, I feel like fictional crime is a genre. I feel like that's right. So I need to find my highlighter because I've been highlighting the chapter. But I also want to tab this. These are dope. I got these off TikTok. They're transparent sticky notes. I can see. I don't know if you can see through it, but I can see. I can see right through it. So I like those. Those are dope. I don't know what color I want to use for put this in a video, but I need to figure out which one of these colors. I think I want to put that in a video. For now, I'll just mark it. Should I read? I mean, I assume that you can't just read a book on live. That feels like copyright infringement. But I see people reading to themselves a lot. I gotta finish this because I have a Libby book waiting for me, and it's also a mystery thriller. So I gotta finish this one. I can't. I don't want to read two books of the same genre at the same time. I feel like I might mix them up. I also think that this is something that the big people do, the big book talkers do, and I don't know. I don't know if this will serve me because I'm not a big book talker, but I just want to annotate, and I want to talk about annotating because it seems to be a key. It seems to be a key in developing critical thinking and a relationship with the books you read. So I want to talk about it. Who else is doing it? Who else is trying to do it? Do we have tips and tricks for each other? If you are interested in annotating, please let me know. How's your annotating journey going? This is the spread I have for today. I had to pop a little sticker on there because it was looking boring. This is my one from last night I showed earlier. I had to eat ramen for lunch, which, I don't mind eating ramen for lunch. It's just they refuse to change the flavor in the vending machine. So hopefully they change the flavor. I had to text them like, okay, you can bring us a different flavor now. And then we got this food stamp stuff going on in the country. Like, I hope that they are talking about actually using emergency funds and funding the food stamp service. But before yesterday, before today, I feel like they weren't planning to do that. That's why I'm reading books, because I can't deal with the bullshit. Okay, now he want to talk to Junior, because Junior called him in the middle of the night, and he was kind of mean to Junior. If you wanted to talk, you should have done it then. Now I'm trying to get some sleep. That's what I was thinking, like, he calling you at 3 because he just got off of work. Oh, okay. Have you, and then let me know if you read this book too. If you read this book, seen this movie, Devil in a Blue Dress, read others in the series. Mouse is the great equalizer. Everybody act right when Mouse walk in. No. Man, I'm gonna have to watch the movie again. Sit your $5 ass down before I make change. I know you took that. Yeah, cause people throwing money. Everybody throwing money they way, trying to find out what they know, or trying to get them to find something out. But a lot of what I have been annotating is just notes, because I've been reading mysteries. And I'm just trying to follow along logically so I can, figure out how the detective solved the puzzle. So let me try not to shaking the table. I'm trying not to shake the table. Let's see. Okay, so McGee offer Junior $100 to take him home and find Daphne. said he was gonna give him the money after he gave a message to Frank, which is like, no, you said you're gonna give me the money for this stuff. So it's like, man, every time you moving the goalposts, I do something for you, and now you trying to tell me to do something else, something much more dangerous. Is this what gets him killed? Well, what? Well, WTF. That's not what we agreed upon, man. I told him that he could fuck that. I did what he wanted, and if he needed something else, we would talk about that after I got paid. That's what anyone would say, right? Got himself killed. What he wants you to say to Frank? Ooh, okay, so they're gonna get the message. Okay, he want me to tell Frank that him and his friends had something on a girl. And she called him her friend. He had a death wish anyway. He drunk, going to the black bar looking for this girl and talking crazy to a bunch of people that he don't know, they won't let him in. He was asking, I mean, it's no wonder he turned up dead. Especially you drunk. Gotta be able to hold your liquor around anyone, but definitely around people you don't know or people you know are dangerous. And he was always around people who was dangerous. That's something else you find out in the book, not in the movie. Like I said, I'm gonna watch the movie again. I think I'm gonna watch the movie again tonight. I'm gonna watch the movie again at some point. Some point soon. Okay, so Dupree not in jail no more. Good. So I was like, dang, he's been in jail the whole book. So this is the scene where they get to Dupree's house, and Dupree is like, first of all, he just got out of jail, and he's just wrecked because his girlfriend is dead, and that's why he was in jail. So they finally let him out because he did not do it. And they get to his house, and Mouse is like, "Ooh, is that pig? Is that pig feet and black eyed peas?" He smelled food, so yeah, he like, "Excuse me." this man is wrecked, and he like, "Yeah, but I smell food. Like I'll make my own plate." He's got something to talk to you about. Why somebody want to kill her like that? What is rye? I don't know enough about alcohol. I realize that. Dupree can't hold his liquor. that just reminded me of the movie when Coretta was like, he's asleep. Like he was knocked out. He was asleep. And they could go ahead and do what they was gonna do because there was no way that Dupree was gonna wake up. He's asleep. He ain't about to wake up. Boy, I tell you, quiet as is kept, which everybody who, well, people probably don't realize this. People probably don't know this. But I love, like, okay, the series is about Easy Rollins solving these mysteries. But really, honestly, his best friend Mouse, like one of the favorites, one of the favorite characters of the series, like everybody's favorite. He shows up in every book. You know, he's dangerous. He's his right man. He's his right hand man. Yeah, and every situation, every book that Easy gets into, that's like this involved case. You know, either he calls his friend or his friend Mouse just randomly like shows up and finds his way, into the picture and is there to help him, to save his life, to threaten anyone that needs to be threatened, to kill anyone who needs to be killed. Like that, he is the favorite character. This is my favorite series. Easy is my favorite character, but it goes without saying that is the combination of Easy and Mouse together that solve all these mysteries, and it's really like the duo of them that just makes for a very exciting. It's just like an exciting read. You never know how Mouse is gonna show up, but you know that he is, and and really like he always shows up in a way where it's like, could he have even solved this mystery? Could he have even closed this case without the help of Mouse? I mean, it's a good question to ask, and it's definitely one that I'm gonna try to think about as I'm reading the series. Yeah, quiet as it's kept, they're actually a detective duo, Easy and Mouse. Oh boy, definitely. That's funny. Lord. I am trying to not shake the table. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying shaking the table. Yeah, I feel like this is like, at this point, he keep getting surprised. He comes home and there's always somebody like at home waiting on him. Yeah, that's happened twice now. And this is, he like, man, I know I'm deep in some mess. I'm deep in some because this is his first case, and he like, man, this is the second time I done come home and it's been people. Actually, the third time, if you count Mouse, from people at his house when he got home. I'm sure by the second book we'll see like, okay, he's like, I've gotten a little bit smarter about, you know, not letting people know where I live. Yeah, because the case gets dangerous much faster than you realize. Especially because it should be dangerous before you become a part of the picture. You just don't know it's dangerous. They like, this woman is a devil. I ain't never seen this much. I ain't never seen this much trouble in a week. I feel like once I'm done with the book, or I could do it now. I want to make a list of recurring characters because there's a lot of recurring characters in this series. Like, Easy knows a lot of people. I'll put it that way. And that's why I'm starting this series over, because I'm like, where this person come from? Where that person come from? When you meet this person? When did you have this kid? Okay. I'm going to end it here. Is obviously nowhere near. Well, I'll say not quite an hour. But I got through a couple chapters. I gotta go, and I'm not used to doing lives and stuff, so I want to make sure I do this last part right and save as much of this as I can. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for reading with me. I'll probably go live tomorrow. And I might be done with the book by then, but we'll just move on to the next day. Happy reading. You guys, I'm like a full-fledged filmmaker at this point. It is so hard to edit this stuff and like get it out in a cohesive way. Like, oh my gosh, I did not know it was gonna be this hard. But like, I have to add an addendum onto my Devil in a Blue Dress notes. So just to make some corrections, there are like nuances that are different between the movie and the book, and I probably touched on that in the video, but it's even more pronounced than I knew at the time. So like, Daphne explains the conflict in the book. She explains like why the two of them can't be together. She explains it better than I could. Like, the writing is eloquent. These people, he really writes them in a way that I can't do it justice. Like, you have to read the book. You have to read the book because all that stuff is just explained better, like, in the book. But what I said in the video was wrong because I'm pretty sure in the movie he was running for mayor, and because of this like scandal he could no longer run for mayor. But in the book he's not even running for mayor. Like, they wanted to stay together. They went through all of this turmoil, but the reason they like couldn't make it work is explained by the characters. It's just kind of like hard to put into words, which is why in the movie they dumbed it down, like, oh, racism. She's black, he's white, so he can't run for mayor. But you get the real story when you read the book, and that's all I'm asking. I just came on to plea with people to pick up the book and experience it for themselves. You know, it's a valuable series for me. I'm gonna keep on making these videos. I'm probably not gonna annotate everyone in lives, but I will keep giving you, you know, my quick reviews, and I hope that you join me. And let's all keep reading.